What's up, people? Act 2 the podcast, episode 89. We are back. It's your boy, International Walk.
It's your girl, Tosh, the co-hostess with the mostest.
And yeah, she got the mostest, all right. We are back for another episode of Act 2 the podcast. You guys out there, y'all want to see all episodes of Act 2 the podcast?
Where can they see it, man, boo?
You can go to act2thepodcast.com.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can also fuck around on Facebook.
Oh.
You can also get us on Instagram. You can also get us on YouTube.
Where else?
I think you can get us on Anchor.
Oh, wow.
Actually, I'm pretty for sure you can get us on Anchor. You can get us on Breaker. You can get us on TikTok. You can get us on Twitter. You can get us on Google Podcasts. You can get us on Breaker. You can also get us on Spotify. You just gotta look.
That's a lot.
We in all those places, so check us out. Definitely go to the website, check it out. We are gonna upgrade the pictures on there of us. Last time we only had one set when we was first starting the website, but it's been over a year. We got tons of pictures of each other, so some new flicks coming, new upgrades. But we're back, episode 89.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm straight. I'm living. I'm good.
You want to start?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first.
What's your mental like?
My mental is probably a 9.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, but I'm
That's
about a
good
9.
head.
I had a good productive day today. So mental is about a 9. Finances is, I would say, an 8. You know, paid down some debt. Feel good about that.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, so finances is about an 8. Work, I would say work is about an 8 too.
Whatever that was.
Yeah, work is about an 8 too. And physically, your boy is strong. I'm in here.
What's your number?
9.
Oh, that's good. So you got a 9889.
Yeah, how are you?
It's a pretty good day.
No! How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing good. Mentally, I am an 8. I'm an 8 and I feel good at an 8, you know.
I was on a nay because you was 8.
You did it before. What was the nay? I thought that's the nay.
It was a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel like I haven't been an 8 for a while, but you know, this moment I feel I'm tired, but I'm feel good, you know.
Black ass tired.
Had to, you know, post the C word, you know, working remotely and having to do some commuting today. Whew, I'm weary.
Well, this is actually AC.
Yeah, this is AC. But yeah, so but I'm an 8. I feel good. It was a good day. Financially, I am a 9. I'm very grateful. Just grateful, extremely grateful. Work is an 8. I'm gonna say that. You know, I'm allowing God to lead me and guide me. Do I love my job? No. Do I hate it? No. Am I good at it? I'm great at it. So, and I'm just allowing things to, you know, do its thing. So work is an 8.
What's that mean though?
What?
Like, do you love your job? Do you hate it?
Like, somebody was saying today, like, you know, if you get up every day and, you know, you hate going to work, then maybe you should find something else. I oftentimes find myself looking for other opportunities, but not because I don't like my job, just because I feel a little stagnant and I have other goals that I want to achieve, but I feel I've been in that position where it's like, I don't like this job, I don't want to do it, and I don't feel like that, so that's good. And I kind of had to do an assessment when they weren't specifically talking to me, but just talking in general. I had to think to myself, like, do I feel like that? And I don't. And that's good. I mean, sometimes people are in that situation and they don't have a choice. You still got to do what you got to do because bills got to be paid. You got kids to take care of, house to take care of.
Hell yeah.
But, so I'm grateful that I'm not in that situation where I have to do a job that I hate.
Would you do a job you hate?
If I had,
or would you just rather have no job?
Nah, I mean,
it's the whole like half a loaf better than no loaf thing.
For me, I mean, doing a job that I hate, yeah, I would. If it was something like, I don't know, don't get me wrong, I ain't like being no pooper scooper person or nothing like that. picking up elephant poop at the zoo. Like,
It's like being no pooper scooper person.
yeah, I don't know what they call, but
Would you be a dog walker?
No.
No.
Like I don't have time to be getting dragged by nobody poodle.
Okay.
Like I don't feel like that. The uncertainty
Would you be a trash
of
truck
it.
lady?
I would.
Good
Well, I would.
Until you see maggots.
Exactly. That's where it would end. Like I'm not taking that can if it got maggots, or I would carry a spray bottle of bleach.
God forbid you saw a rat.
Oh nah, I'm walking. I'm not. Nope. No. Never mind. I wouldn't be a trash truck.
Okay, so on another level, could you be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company tomorrow?
Yeah, I believe that I could.
Tomorrow? Like all those responsibilities and numbers and...
One day at a time. Like, you ain't gonna boil the ocean. So, I mean, you know.
What if your first day you lose $5 million?
First day you lose $5 million?
Yeah.
How do you eat an elephant?
One piece at a time.
One bite at a time. So, I mean, I can do any job that I wanted to do if I put my mind to. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can't, fly a rocket shit, but if you taught me, I could learn. I can't do brain surgery, but I have the capability of learning. But, I think if somebody put me in a position of a Fortune 500 company, I got hired yesterday. What the hell you expect me to do today? Slow walk me.
Okay. I don't think they do that at that level, but okay.
Yeah,
their slow walking is different. You lose $5 million a day, you going tomorrow.
I'm sure. A lot of implications come along with that. Some people might want your head on a platter.
You never know.
Yeah. Physically, I'm an 8. No complaints. Nothing hurts. Again, I'm tired, but nothing hurts. Yeah, I'm good. No complaints there. So thank God.
Okay, great, awesome. Wows and woes. What's up? What's down? What's black, what's white, what's dark, what's light.
Freestyling tonight. We on that rhyme too. We freestyling tonight. Popped up. You want to give me some bars?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to make myself look like a fool. That's not my area of expertise. Bars.
Yeah. I could spit a little bit though. One episode I give y'all some.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a little beat. She gonna give y'all some rhymes.
Yeah. My wow this week. You know what? I've just allowing myself to be loved by people other than my husband, of course. That's
somebody said, who the fuck is loving you?
You're always loving me. But, just allowing myself to be loved by
sounds pretty generic. Come on now. What's up? What's the wow?
just being receptive to being loved. And it's just,
okay.
That's just a good thing. Just having good people in your corner, good people in your circle. That's it.
Okay.
Like,
woes.
You made me feel rushed through that. Woes. The hurricane in Puerto Rico.
I know. Again, right? That was my woe.
Really?
Yeah.
Because we think
the whole bridge got swept away.
Give me some head.
The whole bridge got swept away.
Yeah.
That was a brand new bridge too. It was built like 2 years ago.
It's one of them things you think living in the Caribbean, that could possibly come with the territory. It doesn't make it any less heart-wrenching when you see it.
When the whole island ain't got no electricity.
Yeah, and I don't know how I guess growing up, your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, they tell you about the times that happened when they were a kid. So that it's a possibility, but I just can't imagine, the hardships. When we go to those places like that, we see the beauty and the splendor of the resorts and all that. But we know from when we've been to Puerto Rico twice. It's a lot of poverty there, and just thinking to myself, those people who already were impoverished. Now, this happened in the western part, and we know San Juan, where we visited, is in the northeastern part. But still, it's just devastating to see.
And still, the whole island doesn't have electricity.
Yeah, the entire island.
South and north, everywhere. And I talked to some of my Spanish, Latino, Puerto Rican homies, and they had. One of them has a brother that lives over there, and I was like, it's a shame what happened in Puerto Rico. And he was like, I talked to my brother, and it's all good. And I'm like, why? What's that type of perspective? Like, why does he have that outlook? I'm seeing all this stuff that the island is fucked up. And he was like, because they live in the mountains.
Oh.
So I inquired about, what's life like in the mountains? Like, is it luxury? Is it like living here in a row home in Philadelphia? Like, do you got floors? Like, like I was inquiring about all this stuff, like what's life like in the mountains. So I'm like, when you come outside, what are you walking on? And they was like, concrete, like just streets. There's this concrete, there's asphalt. And I was like, what's the water situation? Like, how do you wash? And they was like, you boil water on the stove in a big thing, and your stove is ran by a propane tank that sits outside.
Okay.
And it's a little hole that comes in the wall that you can get a stove. There's no heat, there's no air, because in the mountains it's 50 degrees at night and 90 and it's like a desert, and 90 degrees in the daytime. So they don't have no controlled air when you live in the mountains. And houses are cinder block inside too. Just painted. You can't put no drywall up because they get too moist. So you can't even like make the inside, you know, like
so
aesthetically.
We know what you learned today.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how the living is in the mountains of Puerto Rico. And I was asking like where rich people live, and is it like mansions over there and stuff like that? Because I was like, when I was over there, I was asking an Uber driver, he was just like, yeah, they live over there. So it was like you just seeing like, okay, rich people live over there, but what's it like? And Eddie was like, you can't even get to them. Like if you're rich, you're behind like a
gated communities and so forth.
Yeah.
And you remember, so one of the areas we visited was near Dorado Beach the first time we went, and we did see, you know, a story about people who are wealthy who move there, and that's the area they move to, which is more expatriates, because you have these people who aren't naturally from Puerto Rico. They're moving there for the tax benefits. So people like us who go there, it's not a cultural experience if you're in those environments, because you have more of a westernization in those areas.
That dude St. David lives over there, and Bad Bunny, those guys like that still live in Puerto Rico because of the, like you said, the tax implications. I think it's 4% no matter how much you make.
You can't beat that. I mean, no, again, you have to think to yourself, if you're from Western civilization, well, let me not say that. If you're from America, because Puerto Rico is part of Western civilization, but if you're from America, you have a certain standard of living.
Right.
So you can't, I won't say you can't, it will be difficult to move there and acclimate to what the standard of living is that there is in Puerto Rico.
Right.
So you kind of, it's not surprising that they create an environment that mimics their environment here in the U.S. because they want the modern amenities of their original home, no matter where it is. So, I mean, it's like 6 in one hand, half dozen the other. If you can move to a place and save some money, but also allow it to be built up to your standard, why not?
Right, and I would think electricity, running water, being able to take a shower.
If you want to experience the cultural
things,
I
wouldn't want to live in Puerto Rico in the mountains just to wash up and pour water on me.
Right.
Like I don't want that kind of living. Just to be like in the mountains.
Yeah,
like,
I would want to visit, but
I found it's cool. Like they also told me like you don't have to buy any vegetables. You can come outside and pick in the mountains. Pick bananas, yams, mangoes, all kinds of fruit and vegetables. Just chilling in the mountains, just growing naturally.
That's beautiful.
But know, I don't know about that. Like no heat, no air, just pouring water over you.
I know Crystal told me she had her in-laws live in Jamaica, and they live in like the mountains, the countryside, which for them that's like similar to living in the suburbs here. Like they're considered, I don't want to say wealthy, but it's like, oh, you live there, you're better off. And similar where no air, and you figure Jamaica is hot. You living in, but for them, like they'll just the windows and stuff are open, but it's no air. So,
I said like, what do you do when it's scorching hot? And they were like, we get in the river, which was like, there's no river in the mountains, so you come down to take a dip in the river. I don't know. I just don't.
Maybe there is a river in the mountain.
In the mountain,
the river runs down. Like
that's true. Or maybe like just a big creek. But,
yeah, possibly.
I don't know.
Yeah. What's your wow moves this week?
My wow is just I made it another week. That's going to be my running wow, is that if God keep blessing me the way He do day by day, I'm going to thank Him on the 7th day. So that's 1 week later from when I thank them before.
So you'll never have another wow?
Yeah, let something pop up.
Okay.
Wow. But other than
so you'll
that,
hit us with a double wow.
It's just going to be my life and, you know, the goodness of it, and thank God for it. So that's my wow. My woe was the hurricane and seeing the bridge get wiped away. And just knowing, like, people who had trips planned to Puerto Rico, probably like the end of the year, can't go there.
Yeah.
Probably can't go till next year, 2023. I would just think if no electricity's there, shit's wet.
I mean, but they did say it's not going to be as bad as Hurricane Maria, because with Hurricane Maria, the entire infrastructure was knocked out. In this case, they rebuilt it, so it's like even though they have a power outage, they don't have to rebuild the whole infrastructure. They just have to make some repairs.
But what I did hear about that is that in 2018, Puerto Rico privatized their electrical grid, which wasn't the best thing, which means government doesn't help with that now. There's like 10 to 12 people, investors who own the power grid. So they have to fix it.
Oh, how does that work?
I know, like, I don't understand privatizing the electrical grid, and I'm sure it's like some type of benefit for them, but you just waiting on some dudes to fix the electrical grid, not the government come in and fix it up quick. Bystanders, licky licky, kissy kissy. Why is girl acceptable to a man but not vice versa when pursuing a partner?
I think because men look at girl on girl action as freaky, you know.
Freaky?
I don't think they look at it in a sense, and I mean, you're a man, of course, so you have more input. But when you talk about bi, or, you know, a woman being bi or messing with other women, the man more than likely is looking at a woman who exudes some feminine qualities, not at a masculine woman who is messing with other women. So it's just more so that them looking at it as, oh, it's like a little extra sauce on your wings. Like, you know, they're not looking at it like.
And how did you describe it as? Freaky?
Yeah, I think men look at a woman as being freaky, not like she's gay. I don't think. Why do you think men are more why is that more acceptable for men? Why is it more acceptable for men to date a woman who is bisexual or messes with women than it is the other way around?
Because I don't think it's necessarily freaky. I think you're programmed to think that it's okay. And I think it's porn. Like everybody grow up watching porn, and that's how you're introduced to sex, or, you know, getting busy. And porn,
busy.
Yeah, and porn is shot for the man to always look like he's being pleased. And the only scenes in porn that look like it's even good for the woman is woman on woman. It's like you can look, it's sensual, it's soft, it's you know, it's quiet. Like there's not a lot hoorah going on. It's just like two people are getting pleased. But the way man and woman porn is shot, you're kind of programmed to think that the man is getting all the pleasure, like he's doing the fucking, and the woman is like, you know, not really getting pleased, she's just getting fucked. And that's how it kind of it plays in your head. So when you see a woman in a woman scene, it's like, oh, this is cool, this is calm, this is nice.
This is nice. That's because in porn they need to re-implement like action cut, like this real scenes, like hello plots. Ma'am. Yeah, like
the plumber
hello,
coming
ma'am.
over because you done got too many things clogged in the toilet.
The washing machine needs to be fixed, or, you know, the dishwasher got jammed, or, you know, the landscaper mowing the lawn.
My porn scene would be like, you would be baking a cake, like, and then I would come up with a raging heart on and be like, "You want me to stir that?"
That's your only line? Yeah. Like you want me to stir that?
You want me to stir that? Like, you don't need that spoon. But go ahead, what would you say?
Yeah. Oh, so you're gonna stir it with your heart on it? Oh my! And then you know how when you stir and it's batter on the spoon, and then you lick it.
See, this is a porno, so it can be all that. So don't be like that's nasty. This is a porno, so it can be nasty.
That is funny.
But yeah, I will be like, you want me to stir that?
Yeah, I like the lawnmower plot. I mean, the lawnmower man.
The lawnmower, like come over and mow the grass?
Yeah.
I'm a little bushy.
Yeah.
I'm a little bushy down here. I need you to cut the grass.
That is funny.
The mower in the back.
But, okay, so back to the topic. In reverse, a woman is not too accepting of a man who has messed.
Your school of women, these women today are.
I don't think
so. I watch a lot of podcasts, and this question has come up where women have said, if, it happened in the past, it ain't no thing. Or they wouldn't, like people try stuff. If it was a college thing, it's okay. If it was a drunk thing, it's kind of okay.
Okay, so let's say this. Outside of relationships, in the I'm just thinking barbershop talk, right? Y'all sitting around, but now I know, your barber, you got a bougie barber, so you like one-on-one appointments and stuff. But let's say,
But I've been to barbershops, and to answer your question, fuck no, that is not okay to let out in the barbershop.
But what would the reaction be to that?
The reaction would be like laughter and clowning. Like, I hate to say it, but if a person was really gay, that would be hurtful. But if it's just a dude in there talking about, man, I was in school, I was up there playing ball, and, I was lonely, and, I wasn't scoring, and, I couldn't get no girls, and, my man.
No. Let's just say, like, okay, you in the barbershop, and whatever, the conversation is fellatio. Okay? And then, a man's, saying like, yeah, I got this girl and she yada yada yada, she doing this, like, she's doing good, like, back in the day when I was in college, oh my goodness, I had this one experience, my roommate or whatever, and I mean, we wasn't, messing with each other like that, but, we was drunk, he did it.
Woke me up to a blowjob or something,
and
like, let it happen.
And what if he was like, that was the best ever, but this girl, she the second best.
Like, you're out of pocket. You need to get back in pocket, bruh.
So
you're probably not getting no haircut.
Yeah,
he's
not gonna cut his hair.
You're probably gonna get laughed at so hard. You're probably gonna leave because you ain't gonna get no haircut.
But what if he just like, it was a one-time thing? Now, is that man considered? Is he considered gay? Is he considered bisexual? It was one-time experience.
By me, yes. I don't know what society would say, but by me, if you are drunk and you wake up to your roommate blowing you and you see him and you don't beat him up or stop him, then you chose that.
But he didn't chose it. He just allowed it happened and he allowed it.
Right, but once you got the information, you just ignored it. You let it happen.
Wow.
So yeah, I would think any type of homosexual act means you're probably homosexual. Because I'm not wired that way. I never thought that way on no level, drunk, around 100 dudes, locked up in jail, school. Like, I never thought that way about any. And I've seen some guys that, to be honest, that was like, damn, he a cool motherfucker. I'd like to, be friends with him. Like, I've grew up with guys like that where you think, damn, he just as cool as I am. Like, we probably would be real good friends, but not no sexual shit.
No, I'm not saying like planning, or I think if you have that thought about a man, like, yo, he cool. Like, if I was gay, I probably would make her my boyfriend. No, that's a different type of thought process. But I'm just saying, if it was a one-time thing. Talking about prison, have you ever known of a guy who, let's say, word on the street was, when he was in prison, he maybe not dibbled in that. I guess to men it doesn't make a difference if he was the receiver or if he was the giver. But have you known of any guys that, like, you heard were let's just say the receivers of male sex? And but technically in society they're not gay, but in jail they participated, or
Yes.
Yeah. I do too. I wonder if it's the same person.
No, I don't think it's the same person.
Okay.
But this person is Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say because
Nah,
it would
you
be
can't.
like, yeah, but yeah, yeah, hell yeah, I know of a person, and it was known that that's what they was doing.
So I was like, so
Actually, I know of a few people, but one person is oddly, you know, yeah.
Wow. I know of one, and you know of them too, but I don't know if you know of that about this person, so we'll discuss offline. But yes, that's a weird phenomenon because I mean, you kind of hear rumble. I mean, again, I know of one person, but I've heard of rumblings about that people would say, and it's like, no, on the street, this person is completely straight. They might have kids, a family. When they come home, they're the same way, but just things happen in jail.
There's three things you do not do in jail, and that where I feel like, and I learned this, you don't lose yourself in jail, and that's snitch, become a drug addict, and do homosexual stuff. You're supposed to make it through jail without doing any of those three things, and you'll be okay. But if you do dibble and dabble in any of that, then that's a problem.
Do you think for some men that they truly, somewhere deep inside, are or were gay, or did they just succumb to the flesh? Like you got 15 years, you just.
I don't understand succumbing to the flesh because you can jerk off. Like, you can jerk off 20,000 times in a tissue, a sock, a toilet, anything. Like, you don't have to do that. That's a choice. Like, you can, it's a lot of guys doing time and you get tired and you want your arms around a woman, but that ain't a woman. I don't give a fuck what you thinking about or how you get. That ain't a woman, and that's a choice you made. So you can do 20 years in jail and then decide, I can't take it no more. I'm going to get me a punk. Like, nah, that's a choice you made. You ain't succumbing to the flesh.
So, do you see, I know we talked about the video about that lady whose husband, I don't know, I think it was her husband who was a rapper, and there was a video released of him being with another man, and she was like, she knew, like, he was just a little freaky back in the day.
Oh, yeah,
she accepted it. Ladies, for me,
if I had one homosexual act in my past that I was honest with you about, would you still look at me the same?
No.
Of course, right? So, I mean, what are we saying? Like, I don't know how, like, I just feel like I'm traditional in that sense where a woman wants to feel secure and safe and like you were saying earlier, like, got a little bit of, you can handle yourself. I ain't gonna necessarily don't have to be a street dude, but you can handle yourself and you sensitive and you comforting and you make me feel safe. I don't think you get that with.
But I mean, so that I wouldn't. I don't know, but you gotta think there are some men that would present themselves physically exactly as you are, and I'm sorry, I was looking a little strange because you didn't have these pants on earlier and it caught me off guard.
Sure, tell everybody.
Well, I'm not, I'm just saying it just caught me off guard. But you, that present themselves exactly as you are, meaning masculine, in appearance and disposition.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if the lack of safety factor, if the lack of safety or security physically becomes a factor in that instance. I think just for myself as a woman, if I know that my man has had sexual encounters with other men, I feel like it's no longer equal playing field. I can hold my own with any chick in this world. Like, I can. Like, I don't feel intimidated by any woman, by what she has, what she doesn't have, what she looks like, what she can do. I can hold my own with anyone. And I feel like if I didn't have this man, any man I wanted, if I wanted him, I could get him. With that being said, when the playing field is equal amongst myself and other suitors, when you add an additional component in there, that now it's not an equal playing field because I can't offer you what this man can offer you.
But is it the same for a man? Like, I'm trying to think of if I was messing with a girl who liked girls. Like, would I think I can't compete because she, like, I don't know. Like, if you're bi, and I don't know what to distinguish what's bi and gay, but if you're bi and you like women, it's like only so much she can do, and I can do what she can do.
Plus extra.
Plus extra.
So I think for a man,
so I don't think that. I still think I have the advantage.
I think so.
Yeah.
But vice versa, it doesn't play out like that, because you got an extra part as a man that, you know, if Mary and Joey are together and Mary sees all these other women that could potentially want Joey, she knows she here with all those women. But now if Gary comes into the equation, Gary got something that Mary or none of those other women don't have.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I mean, yeah, we can strap on, we can do a whole lot of other things, but it ain't the same. So that's why I think as a woman, and I'm not going to say it's pressure, because I don't feel pressure every day, like pressure from other women.
So you don't think it's just the sex? Like that's what the person needs to get off? Like it's just about the sex? Like I need this level of freakiness to get off. Doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. And like it doesn't mean anything that it's a real dick compared to a silicone dick. If
but
my
it
girl
could,
got it on.
But it could, because think about this, in a heterosexual relationship, that's like saying, you know, if a woman has a man and he only had sex with her with a dildo, just the fact that she has this man and he's having sex with her with a dildo, that's satisfactory. No, you want the real man at some point. Now, if you have a man and he has a medical condition, of course, you know, you're going to make exemptions for that. If you love that person, you're going to do what needs to be done.
But
allow
you
her.
know, there's a lot of, like, some people have like hollow penises and stuff like that, and they always have sex with their girl, like in that way. Like some people's sex is on a weird level like that. Like, you know, it's almost rare that sex is traditional nowadays.
That's sad.
It depends on who you're talking to.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, every now and then to switch it up a little bit,
whatever
add a little
your
spice,
appetite is,
a little spice, a little sweet, a little sprinkle of
people
whatever.
People are highly into toys. There's toys coming out every month, every week. Like there's always something new for women. Like there's, you know, you go in I mean, I haven't been in a store, but you go in those kind of stores and it's like
we used to visit
dicks everywhere. They're like all sizes.
And we went in New York.
Yeah, like ones that move, ones that don't, ones that light up, like ones that get warm.
You got the suction cup you put in the shower.
It's just a whole lot going on in there. So I don't think to some people, I'm sure it matters, but
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
I just think when you're having sex, you want to get off. It's not like I really care that it's a guy behind me pounding me. If it was my girl with a strap on pounding me, as long as she doing it right and hitting the right spot, I'm good with that.
But you don't know that, because as a man, he may want the masculine hands on his hips.
That's true too. That's true. That's disgusting, but that's true.
Yeah. Or I mean, a man's jaw is stronger than a woman. Maybe that's what he needs every now and then. So
you just tell her tighten up. Like, communicate. Tell her what you like.
Me as a woman,
you don't have to think. That's like one end of the spectrum to the other. Like, you do it loose, I'm going to a dude, because biology says his jaw is stronger.
Just me as a woman, that's not something that I could accept. Yeah, it's just not something that I could accept. And I would hope that for men out here who have had that experience or are currently dabbing in both ponds, that they're honest, because I cannot imagine the hurt that you find out that your man is cheating with another man.
So what do you think? If you had one same-sex experience in your life, are you gay?
I don't think one would label you as being gay, because
wow. Are you thinking that like from a woman's perspective? Because think about a man sucking a dick. He ain't gay. He just did it.
But what if he did it and he didn't like it? Like, he thought he did, but he didn't like it and never did it again? Is he just considered... Now, again, he couldn't be my man, but I'm just saying.
Why?
Because I would just
be... If you're giving such leniency, why you ain't giving no leniency that way?
Because I would just be afraid that he would be...
He would suck a dick again. I don't get it twisted. That's what you're afraid of. You're not afraid of competing. You're afraid you sucked the dick before. I think you're going to do it again.
And that's what, okay, I think at some point you probably would learn to trust that your man wouldn't, but I ain't putting in the time to build that trust on that. Like, it's like having to build trust in a relationship in general takes time and work, but that, I don't even want to be a factor in my head. So for me, I mean, I think
Is he bi or gay?
I don't think he's either. If he did it one time,
he's not even bi
and never did it again.
Wow, where do we live at where it's okay to have a same-sex experience and it just be cool? If you're not that,
what if he did? What if he thought? Let's say he was 19. He thought he liked it, or he thought he would.
19.
And he didn't like it 19? And never did it again.
19.
How is he late? And he never messed with a man before or after.
19 and you got on your knees and sucked a dick. And you talking about you're not gay, you're not bi?
Okay, so tell me this. And all the saints out there, if you don't like what I'm about to say, you know.
It's our show.
Donnie McClurkin, he said, you know, he used to be gay, and he was healed from that life. He's never messed with a man again. I think he has a wife and kids. He's, you know, happily ever after. Is he still considered gay?
He's gay and he's lying.
Wow.
And I like Donnie McClurkin songs, but he's gay, he's lying. You can't be gay for 20 years of your life, say God healed you, and we all know that's not the way it works. Because that's the case, these Christian camps would work. But they don't. So God can't heal you from being gay. That's an insult to gay people. And then say, okay, I'm just going to go and get a wife and kids and look apart. That's not cool.
You think he's just resisting the temptation, but the temptation still... So
I think he's probably dipping out on the DL. I don't even think he's resisting the temptation because he had the temptation before. He know what it tastes like. He know what it is. It's not something he never had before. So I'm sure he may want that or get that urge, but he know what how to do it and how to go get it because he had it before. It ain't no temptation to resist.
So do you think if a woman told you that, yeah, you know, when I was 21, you know, me and my girlfriend, we was at a party, you know, we got home late, you know, we ate each other out, like, but that was a one-time thing, never again. Is she considered bisexual?
I would think you're bi. If you ate out a coochie, you're bi.
She did it one time in her life, never before,
so
never
how many
after.
times does it take for you to say, okay, you're bi? 2? 5?
I think 2.
2.
2 because then that shows...
Come on with
I
this
think
shit,
2.
Man. Come on. 2. So 2 dicks. And you're gay.
I think because one,
2
you can
dicks,
say,
you're bi or gay.
I didn't like it. If you went back again, you liked it. And yeah, I think...
So what if you just wanted to try it again and see, like, okay, if I didn't like it the first time, maybe I didn't do it right. Let me try it again.
No, you liked it. You just wanted to confirm if you really liked it. Yeah, I think 2 times you then. So gay and bisexual. So I think if you're gay, it implies so you can be gay without being bisexual.
Yeah, because
but if you're bisexual, you're considered
you like
gay.
The same sex only.
No, I think gay means you like the same sex. Bisexual means you like both sexes.
Yeah, so gay means you like the same sex only. You don't like the opposite sex. You're gay. You like, if you're a woman, you just like women. You don't like men. If you're bi, you like both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you're gay, you're not bi. You don't dabble with men if you're gay. Like if you're a gay man, a fully gay man, I'm trying to think of somebody that's gay, like gay. Like Billy Porter or somebody. Like he wouldn't mess with women. Neil Patrick Harris. Yeah, like they're not messing with women. Like he's gay, a gay man, and that's what he likes, men. So he's not bi. But a bi person, you can't be in a 6-year relationship with a woman, get your heart broke, and then now all of a sudden for 4 years now you're dealing with dudes.
Sidebar, Doogie Howser. Now we know, like you mentioned Billy Porter, right? This is 2022. It's more acceptable. Like people don't have to hide. Like back in the day growing up, we didn't know Doogie Howser was yet a gay man. And you think about how many sitcoms have been syndicated. Do you think because he was gay that he kind of like got brushed under the rug, and why wasn't Doogie Howser syndicated?
Yeah, well, and plus he was one of those people who had enough money, where he didn't have to work, and then he got married and had kids. He had like 2 sons or something like that.
Oh,
so every time he didn't. I'm saying he's got. I said he got. I said he got 2 kids. I didn't say he had them. I didn't say he birthed them. I just said he got 2 kids. I don't know how he got them, but he got 2 kids.
So as a man, let's go back. As a man, would you date a woman who had a history of messing with other women? Let's just say if it was a one-time thing.
Well, I would probably date and mess with one. I don't think I would wife one. And that's just me being honest, because like you just said, and I throw the question back to you. If you think that a man who sucked a dick can't be your man, if the shoe was flipped on the other side and you ate a vagina, would you be hesitant in telling that your husband or your long-term boyfriend that I did this in the past because you think he judged you like that? Or would you keep something like that to yourself and be like, he don't need to know this? Like, I tell you everything else, but I'm not telling you I licked my girlfriend coochie in the 12th grade.
In the 12th grade, that's
whenever.
I think it's different for, this is where the double standard or bystander comes in. As a woman, I don't think I would tell them, if it's not something that I wanted to continue doing or wanted to like participate in, I don't think I would tell a man, because I think men fetishize that fetishize that sort of lifestyle, and they will automatically think, oh, she freaky, oh, let's have a threesome, oh, you did it before, do it again. And I would, if it was something that I'm truly not interested in, I wouldn't want that to be the expectation. I think men look at women differently when they know that. So while they may be accepting of it, I think I would just want to remove that part. Now, as the relationship progresses, you start to, if it becomes serious and you want to be open and honest, I think at some point you should tell. But again, it wouldn't be something that I would disclose early on, because I wouldn't want that to be kind of lingering out there like, oh, he waiting for me to, he waiting to make that suggestion.
If you didn't do it early on, I don't think you'd do it at all, because after 10 years or so, you wouldn't want to like fuck everything up. Now you got something to lose.
Would it mess everything up?
You don't think he still would look at you different, or she still would look at? I would think if I didn't tell you in the beginning, I did this when I was, in college.
I'm talking about for women, though.
Okay,
because it is different for men and for women. For women, I don't think a man would break up with a woman for doing that.
That goes back to my point of that's the way we think about porn.
Being double standards. So, I think a man might be like, damn, why you ain't never tell me? But 10 years in, you would know, okay, this your girl, this your wife. You know what she into. You know she ain't still out here dabbing in the lady pond. But for a woman, it's different. You'll be looking like, oh my God, I can't believe my man is revealing this to me. So a woman could potentially leave a man for revealing something like that. I don't think a man would leave a woman for telling. Like, he might, every now and then be like, licky, licky, licky. I know you licky.
I think if you told me that, I would feel some type of way, though.
Don't use us, because, this is 20 plus years in, and me having hid that from. So let's not say 10 years. Let's say after 5 years. What do you think is like the time frame in which,
within the first year.
Okay.
Within the first year, I think you should tell me that you dabbled in the lady pond.
I think that's
within the first year.
But I don't think it should be something that should be revealed
when you
early
feel me
on.
Getting serious with you, and you can kind of feel like he might tell me he loved me or some shit like that. Yeah, you need to tell me you dabbled in the lady pond.
Okay, so going back to women that we talked about dabbling one time. What if she has would you, of course, in a different life, would you date a woman who is bisexual? Like, she has some past, like, she doesn't cheat and dibble out with women just to have fun, but she has had some past relationships with men. She's had some past relationships with women. She's a relationship person. It ain't just like no freaky type thing out there. That's like a Queen Latifah, Ebony Nichols type situation, like relationship. But,
but
she's
gay.
dated both.
They're gay though.
I know, but I'm saying that's how I'm just using them as an example to say it ain't just some freaky after the club coochie licking episode. It's like she has had serious relationships with women, serious relationships with men. Would you consider dating her?
No, because I'm sure that's not all she's had. I'm sure in her life she's had some fun and did some things she wanted to do. So I'm sure every time she laid down for sex wasn't in a relationship. Well, I would assume. I mean, people don't live under rocks.
Even if she was with a man, that's a potential. But I'm just saying, would you date a woman who is bisexual, who not just had a, one-time sexual encounter in college with a woman, but who is
I see what you're saying. Like if she was in a relationship and she was monogamous.
Like her past relationships included men and women. Right.
I don't think I would. I think I would want to have fun. So you said date? Yeah, I would date, but I wouldn't be exclusively dating you.
What about her past would stop you?
Every girl I would see you with, I would think you ate her coochie. Oh. Like, yeah, your girlfriends, like all of them, I'd be like, you ate all their coochies. Like, that I would just drive myself crazy with that.
But what if she honestly told you, like, nah, this, my old girlfriend, she moved to Chicago, and the other girlfriend I had, like, let's say she had 3.
Yeah, I was ready to say it would depend. If her conversation was like that and it seemed super honest, then
like just like if she was telling you about her past relationships with men, it's like okay. Mm-hmm. So it's not something that would be, and that's where the double standard comes in, because I think, of course, this ain't an all or nothing type thing. We know there's some women that may say one thing, some men that may say another. Speaking in generalizations, I hate that we have to say that, but people always want to be the one to say, not me, not me. Mm-hmm. But I think for the most part, most women would not date a man who is bisexual, and I'm not talking about the one, well, I think in both scenarios, the one-off sexual experience with a man, they wouldn't, but I think they especially wouldn't date a man who has had some previous relationships with men, some previous relationships with women, and now it's just your turn.
Okay, so would you date a man who, let's say you knew to be a man's man, and you always, like, you knew him to be a man's man, but he had a prison experience and came out, and you just, you heard it, everybody knew, but he carried himself heterosexual, and to him it was just a survival tactic. Is he dateable?
Not for me, no. And you know what? When you said that, it made me think.
It didn't matter that his was on the inside and like another man's was on the outside.
No, you allowed yourself. To me, I know I asked you that earlier, but to me, that's not like a survival tactic.
Right. Sex, that's why I put it in air quotes.
Yeah, like it's a survival tactic if you say, I ate that roach because I was dying and I didn't eat for 10 days. Like, I'm going to be like, oh my God, but roaches got protein.
Eat my shirt first, or probably a piece of bed sheet, but I'm not eating a roach. I would eat a piece of shirt or a whole roll of toilet paper, but I'm not eating a roach.
Or, okay, you drank your urine because it was no water for 10 days.
That's plausible.
That's a survival, but not like, I just couldn't take it. I just needed a blowjob, or I just needed to pound something. Like, no, but there are some people that have that mentality. Like,
there's some people who have that mentality on the first day of jail. Well, like, I'm jail, and it's all everything.
You've been waiting for an excuse. Then.
Yeah, like
that's how I feel.
Look.
But what's even, so this is like a little divergent from this. I know of a gentleman who went to jail who was a victim. Like he was raped in jail, and I always think to myself, that's not his fault. That's not his fault. But I, as a woman, not because I feel like, oh, you gay, he was raped, but the mental trauma behind that, we all got our trauma. We talk about our healing journeys. We are regulars with therapy, but that kind of trauma, that's some kind of hurt that I don't know if I would be able.
So is he dateable? If his sexual experience wasn't him pounding, he got pounded. And
that's what he wouldn't be dateable for me, because I think that kind of trauma to deal with somebody would be too heavy.
What if he was in therapy?
If he was healed, like I wouldn't. Well, right. If he was on a healing journey, right? I'm sorry, you're right. If he was on a healing journey and mentally, I could see there was some stability there, and he was working through his issues, I can't say he would be excluded from dating.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't say that, because again, I know, and I'm not saying this to be facetious at all. If anything, I would think to myself, he wouldn't dare want to be with a man because of him being violated.
Right.
So that would kind of take that off the table, I think. Yeah. Right, I would think.
Like anger and aggressive issues towards men.
Yeah.
He
but
might beat your shit out your brother or some shit.
Yeah, that's a difficult. He
like he
wouldn't be doing no hut type thing,
nah.
like nobody behind him. Like, yeah, so that would be a difficult situation. But yeah, you going in jail and you participating in those activities under the guise of, oh, I'm in here, I had to make it through these 20 years. Like, you know, a mouth is a mouth, a butt is a butt.
No, it's guys locked up that did 60 years that ain't fucked nobody.
Exactly.
So it's, you know, and it's guys locked up that did a year who fucked people.
How many people you think ate roaches?
No. They put them, no. They put them people in rubber rooms. And it's sad to say, but those people in solitary go in rubber rooms. Like, that's when it's like over. Something clicked in there and they talking to roaches and eating them. Like, nah, it's... It was your friend for 10 days and you bit his head off, like, and a guard saw that shit. Like, you going to the rubber room for real. Like, something clicked in your head where you're not on a level playing field no more.
Yeah.
Like, you need medicine.
Yeah. But that ain't a survival tactic for me.
No, having homosexual activity is not a survival tactic. It's a choice. If that's what you want to do in there, then that's what you're going to do.
What about the guys that go to jail and get their hair braided?
That's homosexual.
Really?
Sitting between some man's legs while he braiding your hair?
What if you sit in a chair and he stand up?
Where?
In a chair. He stand up behind you.
In jail.
They don't have chairs in jail?
Yeah, in jail. Where it's 3,000 dudes. You think that's a safe space to get your hair braided by a man? What
if it's a man, and don't they have barbershops in jail?
Yes.
What if it's a man that got a chair in the barbershop where he do braids?
Nobody's going to get braids. Nobody shouldn't get braids. That is not a place where no. That's a place where you need your toxic masculinity. You can't sit between no man's legs.
You're not sitting between his...
You can't sit in his chair and get your hair braided. You can get a haircut like all the other men, but that's a place where societal rules go out the window. All the homophobia, all the F word, all that stuff is fair game in there. And you can't, 1,000 men walk past and see you getting your hair braided. Like, nah, you enjoying that, bro? Like, nah, that's not cool, babe. Not in jail.
Okay.
No. Now, if you went somewhere in some salon and some dude was getting his hair braided, and I don't mean to be rude, but most of the time it's probably going to be by like a homosexual guy.
Right.
But if you see like me braiding some dude's hair in a hair salon.
What if you just learn how to braid?
When did I do that? When did I do that? No.
Okay.
No.
I just thought I would ask.
How many guys you know who braid who aren't gay?
I don't know any. I don't know any.
Instagram is across the world, billions of people. Do you see any straight guys braiding hair on there?
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. If y'all know any, tag us and stuff. Let us know.
A couple of gangsta ass niggas just in the shop braiding hair.
I mean, it would be dope if they learn. The chicks be lying for chicks.
No.
Okay. All right.
No, that shit be getting robbed. That was a good conversation.
It was.
What have you learned?
I know what I've learned. Let me see. Do you know how many nerve endings the clitoris has?
A couple hundred.
True. That's what you think, huh? Do you know how many nerve endings the head of the penis has?
A couple tens of thousand.
Okay, so
I always flip that. I think the clitoris is a little bit more sensitive than the head of the penis.
So let me school you some. The clitoris has 8,000 nerve endings.
Wow.
8,000. The penis contains 4,000 in the glands, glans, or the head is what it's commonly known as.
Mushroom.
In the mushroom alone. So 4,000 in the head of the penis, 8,000 in the clitoris. But listen to this.
What's in the shaft?
I don't know. Listen to this. Y'all do yourselves a disservice because guess what has between 10 to 20,000 nerve endings?
Tape.
The foreskin, and y'all get it cut off.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't want, if I had a foreskin, I wouldn't want nobody licking it.
I guess that's where all the sensitivity comes.
It's a flap of skin.
I don't know what one. I don't know what that looks like.
You can Google that.
I know. I just never. You know, I Google everything. I've never wanted to know what that
This
looks
is probably
like.
Gross.
Yeah. So that's what I learned.
Yeah.
That was some knowledge for you.
I learned about Richard Riker. Rikers Island. He was a judge who used the Fugitive Slave Act and he was an anti-black pro-slavery man who created the kidnapping club. He owned Rikers Island, the island itself, and he used to capture blacks up north and send them back down south. Well, he used to sell them back down south and line his own pockets. But yeah, he owned fucking Rikers Island.
You know, it's one of those things that's crazy to me because I saw that information as well. But just as easy as that is to be published today, when someone thought about naming a prison after him, don't you think to yourself, let's see who this historical figure is. Like, that's like naming, the new school building Adolf Hitler Elementary. Like, they
wouldn't do, but he had an uncle and that was a Dutch uncle, Abraham Riken, who owned it a couple centuries ago. So
on the island, but I'm talking about when the prison opened. They know the history. Why name the prison?
It's the same thing as fucking Thomas Jefferson, and you got Jefferson Highway, Jefferson Hospital, and everybody know they had slaves. Everybody know they was brutalizing people and owned slaves, but they named all the highways and schools and fucking.
Well, because he
Jefferson
was a president too, so that's like a little bit.
But he was a slave owner first.
I'm not justifying it, but I'm saying they let him be president. Like,
but that was the time back then. I'm just saying, you don't put schools and roads up like they
so
still have Jefferson Hospital.
Do you think everything?
You know how easy it would be to change the name?
I was gonna say, do you think everything that's named Thomas Jefferson should be changed? Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not in. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Anybody that owns slaves, any of those first 10 presidents that owned slaves or any of that shit, you can't have roads and schools and education centers and and highways and hospitals named after these people. No, it's like a slap in the face.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
You know what I mean? You have 85% black kids in the school that's Jefferson High. Yeah. Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
3 Grammys.
Uno, dos, tres.
This is a would you rather right off the bat. Would you rather go shark diving, skydiving, or bungee jumping?
I would say skydiving.
So you'd rather jump out of a plane?
Because you have an apparatus and you're with a person that's trained.
Well, all of them, you have an apparatus.
No, but it's different. Bungee jumping, the cord can pop.
Okay.
And you bungee jump by yourself.
Skydiving, the chute could not open. And the guy that's with you, his could not open.
You got like a backup and then a backup to the backup.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, if I had to
one of them got open.
If I had to take my chances, I'm gonna take my chances with skydiving. Shark diving, I am not a proponent for going under the water deep like that ever. Like, I just feel like if something happens, I'm going, it makes my stomach hurt just thinking about it. Submarines and rocket ships, never. Because if something happens in space, they cannot save you. You're going to die. It's going to blow up. If something happens in a submarine, they can't save you. You're going to drown. Your lungs are probably going to explode. You're going to compress. Like, so those two things, and I love the water. I think of myself to be a pretty adventurous person. But I'm only going but so deep. I have jumped in 20 feet of water. I think that's my limit.
Yeah.
I'm not going past 20 feet.
We was in 29,000 feet of water before.
No, we were on.
Yeah.
We wasn't in.
No, we was on top of 29,000 feet.
And I had to not even. I got sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't think about it.
Wave runners, and when the tour man told us that, it was
we didn't need to know that. Like,
wow, like really, this is that deep.
And you think you fall off one of them things, you're not staying on the surface. You're gonna go down about 7 to 8 feet.
You can put, where you are right now, you could put Mount Everest underneath you. Yeah. And it was like, what? Like, what?
The thought is like sickening. I used to let me just tell you this too. I used to like be obsessed in learning about the abyss. The fact of knowing that there is a depth to the ocean that is unknown to man, that is like mind blowing to me.
Yeah, I think the abyss is like 6 miles underground, and where the sun don't penetrate. So 12 o'clock in the afternoon, it's pitch fucking dark down there.
Yeah.
Like the sun don't even go down there. And yeah, it's got all them animals that glow and shit because they never get sun.
But I think there are some depths
translucent
of the ocean that people don't even know. Like
past the abyss?
I think so.
I think the abyss is holes, but like you can go into a hole and never come to fuck back.
That's what I'm saying. Like there are depths that they say 6 miles, but I think you probably can find some holes, some pockets that probably can go deeper, and nobody has ever gone because you can't. It's a certain point that you can't go. Like you're gonna die down there. Yeah. Like your body won't be able to handle the gravitational
can go to the abyss
pressure
if you're in a submarine. But a diver can only dive but so many feet before the pressure on the chest.
Yeah.
And then you got to come up slow because you'll blow the fuck up when you come up fast.
If you had to pick though to go, let's not say the abyss, but if you had to pick to go to Mars or to go to 5 miles below.
I mean, either submarine or rocket ship type shit, I would think I would take my chances in a submarine. I feel like rockets just blow up. Like they have the propensity to blow the fuck up. Just
my eyes are watering thinking about either choice.
Yeah, a submarine. I think I could. Okay, like now when the shit start making noises and stuff, I would be like, okay, this is over. Yeah, like it's gonna dent like a soda can and we gonna get crushed.
You're gonna come out like a dime.
Come out like a dime.
This is how the gravity is going to say, it's going to smash you into a dime.
You're going to feel
Your face is going to be on a dime.
Feel it like,
yes.
It just go flat.
Yes.
That's crazy that your mind pictures it happening like that. Second Graham, the lawsuit with Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears was dropped, and she finally spoke.
Tiffany Haddish?
Yeah, she was in the airport and somebody caught her on TMZ. She said she lost everything. She was dropped from every gig. Like, she was like, I don't have no job. I was dropped from everything. I'm glad it's over. And it was dismissed, I think, yesterday. And she was like, I lost everything.
So did they settle or it was dismissed?
The records say it's dismissed. They didn't say anything about settle. They just said it was dismissed. And the woman who had the lawsuit gave a statement saying she knew Tiffany would never do nothing to hurt her family, or her brother. Then she's sorry, and that hopefully everybody can move on.
Nah, sis. So now I'm suing for defamation of character because you don't do that to me to then come say sorry. Because they were formerly friends too. Like, what's your whole deal? What type time on?
That lets you know, like, that you hear the rumors about extortion. It's like, damn, that
it's
sounds
real.
just like that. Like, y'all thought somebody was going to panic and give y'all money.
That's
and then
sad.
when we start getting everything, our ducks in order, and realize y'all probably ain't got lawyers like that.
And let's just say it was in very poor taste.
Yes.
The production that was created.
Yes.
Extreme poor taste. However, no one was forced to participate. At the time, whatever adults consented to this child participating were complicit. So you can't now say, when I think back onto what I allowed my child to do, I don't like it. Like no, it don't work like that. It was in extreme poor taste. But again, that child wasn't kidnapped and forced to be a part of that production. that's a shame that somebody. You know what? I hope for. God knows her heart. I hope for Tiffany, if her heart and mind is in the right place, and that God just reveals Himself and build her back bigger and stronger than ever. Because I read, y'all know I'm not a big reader. I'm not a big reader. I read her book. It wasn't the greatest, but it was she like so many of us, has had a hard time in life. She has not been given anything. She's worked hard to get to where she is. Something like this could break somebody. Like you could never see her again. Or like you can, no shade, you can go to Costco and she be working at Costco because she just done.
Yeah.
Like, so I hope this doesn't break her. So sending good vibes to you, Tiffany Haddish, wherever you are in the world. We all make mistakes. It's not the setback, it's the get back. Praying for you. God got you.
Damn, that was nice. That was sweet. Last ram. PNB, his death, they said, was a planned execution. They had the investigators saying he was beefing with some gangs in Atlanta and beefing with some gangs in LA. And they were the drop of the location didn't help that his girlfriend did, but there were already people following him.
It's a sad situation.
And it's weird how something like this it happens, and then a report comes out about Nipsey Hussle. His official autopsy report came out. He was shot 11 times.
I read that and I was confused.
And I'm looking like in the head, the chest, the stomach, the hip, the thigh, the big toe. I'm like, Jesus
But wasn't
Christ.
that man, like, he was angry, he had been embarrassed and blah, blah, blah.
But everybody saw that video. It didn't look like he was shot 11 times. Like, that looked like the guy shot him a couple times and ran. Yeah. You're talking about 11 times. Like, geez, like, that video played over and over on the internet.
I'll be honest, when I saw it, it made me upset. Just the fact that we even know. And, like, this is re-traumatizing for the family.
Yeah.
We didn't. So, and I hope that Lauren London, I don't think she's on social media as much just because of interviews that we've seen her do. But he has other family too. It's just re-traumatizing. Like, I mean, in the end, he's dead, he's buried, he's gone. Do we need to know how many times he was shot? Like, does it change anything?
No.
Like, why? So why did we have to know that?
How do you feel about his mom, PNB Rock's mom, jumping on a flight to go to LA? Obviously, her son was murdered, but them not releasing his body and performing an autopsy against their religion. Like, because it's California state law to do an autopsy to determine homicide or not. But I'm like, a guy is shot in a goddamn...
What needed to be determined.
What needs to be determined. Like, his way of... Like,
he was shot, he died on the scene. It's not like he went to the hospital, so y'all are unsure.
I think their argument was we have to say what shot killed him. Like, when did he die?
Again, why does that matter? If I got shot...
It mattered in Nipsey's thing where they said that after all the stuff, when they parts and they said he got shot at, they said it was to determine whether his death was rapid. So I would think that's what they use in the autopsy for.
But again, at the end of the day, if he laid there and it took him 6 minutes to die, or if he died at the first gunshot, for his family it matters to know. I mean, I guess you would want to know, did they suffer this, that, and the other, but maybe I'm just missing something. In a legal sense, this person is going to be charged with murder. You killed them. Again, whether your first bullet killed them or your 17th bullet killed them, you killed them. Why? Like, I don't understand why an autopsy is required in that type of scenario. I can get, maybe if they say, let's just say...
They found them... What, in a house or something?
Right. Or let's just say there was a shootout between a cop and a person and another person got killed. Okay, they want to know which bullet killed them. I get it. But in this scenario, it doesn't matter if, he got shot 4 times or 44 times, or if the bullet in his heart killed him or the bullet in his lung killed him. He died. Mm-hmm. I just don't understand.
And it's a homicide.
Yeah.
So that's what and then obviously they're true Muslims, and they wanted his body to start their arrangements within 72 hours. Like, that's their faith. But it's not happening. It's almost been a week already.
Well, I would think in their faith...
because California won't release the body because we have to do our stuff by law because it's an investigation
all right, I would just think in their faith that their God won't hold them accountable for any wrongdoing because it's out of their control. You know, I understand maybe from a spiritual aspect. I don't know anything about the implications of that, but and it's unfortunate, but it's nothing that they can do. I mean, I don't understand why the state it needs anything other than to say, I mean, maybe they want to confirm the type of bullet it was to know the gun, but it's all bureaucratic red tape and it sucks.
It's crazy how the investigation stretches, because it says it's detectives in Atlanta talking to people about the shooting in LA because he was beefing with different people in different states. And it just makes me think, like, why am I out here moving around like this when I got these beefs like this? And especially when I come from that, like, I know how niggas get down. So that's just crazy. It's a shame, and condolences to his family. The stuff that his brother puts up, it's like, man, you can, like, that raw pain is something else. That's a wrap. Act 2 the Podcast, episode 89. Fuck with us on act2thepodcast.com, Facebook, Instagram. People won't think you signing. Instagram, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Radio Public, TikTok, Breaker, Spotify, and Twitter.
You want to hear a joke?
Sure.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Yellow.
Yellow who?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Yellow.
Yellow who?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange what?
Aren't you glad I didn't say yellow? If you F with us, you F with us. If you don't, you should. Peace.